Rashford's had his problems. Sancho's hitting the headlines for the right reasons of late. Has he shown the path that Rashford now needs to take to earn his place back in the side, do you think?
Which is apply himself.
Marcus burst onto the scene just like Elanga, you know, even more explosive, and he played with that urgency and no fear, and he blew everybody away. And obviously Elanga's doing that now. I think when you've been in there and then you've had a blip and you're struggling, then you get a bit more careful.
It's going to fall here for Rashford, and then Rashford still. Oh, Marcus Rashford! He burst onto the. It's going to be Marcus Rashford. It's a good hit. Oh, what a goal! It's down. Here's Rashford. Kazarian takes by it right. Courtesy of Marcus Rashford. He's done it. Rashford. Marcus Rashford. Oh, glorious! That is a special one. For distance, power, accuracy, and indeed significance, Marcus Rashford can count that amongst his best.
The main message I always get from revisiting old places, old houses, old schools is just remembering who you are and where you come from. My mum doesn't drive, so getting to places was always tough. We used to have to get a bus from here into the town centre and then a bus out of the town centre into Salford, and that was every day. That's to get there and then to get back, and that was going on for about a year, 18 months. And then on top of that, you've got your big kit bag, you've got all your boots, your shin pads.
I had 3 jobs, and if I didn't do that, we just wouldn't have been able to cook a pot of food. It's just a bit difficult, so Marcus is only telling the story from how he sees it from, and the words that he's been saying, they obviously come from the bottom of his heart. Sometimes it was really bad. I'd rather give the food to the kids than give it to myself. Sometimes I didn't get anything to eat, and they'd ask me if you had yours, and I'd say, yeah, but I didn't.
What stage did you think, I can do this?
I think watching, like me seeing other academy players start playing in the first team. Okay. When I was younger, there was like Mikado, Danny Welbeck, Ravel, Paul Pogba, Jesse. So they was getting in and around the first team. And then when I was about 15 at the time, 14 maybe, and me seeing them being around them type of players that was in the first team at the time, that made me sort of understand how realistic it is.
The cross. Oh, it's great skill. Through here. Fantastic strike. Marcus Rashford, Manchester lad, scores on his derby debut. Plenty of pace. Oh my goodness. Marcus Rashford. Inside 2.5 minutes, the dream continues for the teenager.
Any pressure, but the second time is always more difficult, and he played a very good match.
Rashford is in behind David Luiz, fantastic pass.
It is not a matter of age, it is a matter of quality, and he shows it.
Buffon. How's your bottle? Oh, he smashed it in! What a penalty!
Marcus, thank you so much for talking to us today. Tell me why
you've written the letter that you've written, how important it is to you.
You know what families are going through now. I once had to go through that same system, and it's very difficult to find a way out. But now that I'm in this position that I'm in, it's very important for me to help the people that are struggling, and that was the main reason why the letter was written. And
services to vulnerable children in the United Kingdom.
He is now as famous for philanthropy as football. Marcus Rashford was recognised for that today when he received his MBE at Windsor Castle.
When you look at the history of big social movements and big social change, it's usually young people who initiate this. Marcus, I think, is way ahead of where I was at 23. I was still trying to figure it out.
Really in charge of something and don't show any sign of proper leadership. That a boy grown up in difficult circumstances, blessed with a sensational talent, obviously, but never forgot his roots, and this is where he's coming from.
if you give someone a helping hand at a young age, they'll go on to do things that, you know, even they didn't think or believe that was achievable.
Rashford kept his cool.